In professional tennis, fans have traditionally measured greatness through trophies, rankings, Grand Slam titles, and head-to-head records. For decades, that was the standard formula. The player who won the most matches became the biggest star, attracted the largest endorsements, and enjoyed the strongest commercial opportunities. Success on the court almost automatically translated into success away from it. But the modern sports landscape is changing rapidly, and tennis may be one of the clearest examples of that transformation. Today, being an elite player is no longer the only requirement for becoming one of the most valuable athletes in the world. Brands are looking beyond rankings. They are looking beyond statistics. They are looking beyond championships. They are searching for athletes who can connect with audiences globally, influence culture, attract younger generations, and represent values that resonate far beyond sports. This shift has created one of the most fascinating discussions in tennis because it raises a question that many fans never imagined asking. What matters more in today's game? Dominance on the court or influence beyond it? The answer is not as straightforward as many people think. Every year, millions of fans watch Grand Slam tournaments expecting the best player to receive the biggest rewards. It feels logical. If someone wins the biggest titles, defeats the strongest opponents, and consistently proves themselves under pressure, then surely they should be the face of the sport. Yet history repeatedly shows that commercial success often follows a different path. The athletes who generate the most attention are not always the athletes holding the biggest trophies. Sometimes they are the players who tell the most compelling stories, connect with audiences in unique ways, and represent something larger than the sport itself. Tennis has witnessed this phenomenon many times before. Some players became global icons not simply because they won matches, but because they inspired people who had never even picked up a racket. Their influence extended beyond courts, tournaments, and rankings. They became cultural figures whose impact reached entertainment, fashion, business, and social conversations around the world. As the modern era of tennis continues evolving, this reality has become impossible to ignore. Every major company investing in sports understands that a sponsorship is not simply about attaching a logo to an athlete's shirt. It is about building a long-term relationship with someone capable of representing a brand's identity, values, and future ambitions. This is where the conversation becomes particularly interesting because the qualities that make a great athlete are not always identical to the qualities that make a great ambassador. One player may dominate opponents every week, while another captures public attention on a global scale. One may collect trophies while another generates headlines. One may lead rankings while another leads conversations. Neither path is necessarily better, but both create value in very different ways. The result is an environment where commercial success and competitive success no longer move perfectly together. They influence each other, but they are not the same thing. For tennis fans, this can be difficult to accept because sports naturally reward measurable achievements. Rankings can be calculated, titles can be counted, victories can be tracked. Influence is much harder to measure. How do you compare a championship trophy to global recognition? How do you compare a tournament victory to cultural relevance? How do you compare athletic dominance to the ability to inspire millions of people? These questions have no simple answers, which is why they generate such passionate debates. Some fans believe performance should always come first. Others argue that modern athletes have responsibilities and opportunities that extend far beyond competition. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. Tennis is both a sport and an entertainment industry. Players are both competitors and public figures. Brands understand this reality better than anyone because they invest enormous amounts of money trying to predict where attention will be focused 5 or 10 years into the future. They are not merely paying for current success. They are betting on future relevance. That distinction changes everything. A company evaluating a potential partnership is not asking who won the most matches last month. It is asking who will remain influential for years to come. It is asking who can attract new audiences. It is asking who can help the brand stay connected to changing consumer preferences. It is asking who can generate excitement across different countries, age groups, and cultures. These considerations often lead to decisions that surprise sports fans because they do not always align with rankings. A player can be ranked number 1 in the world and still face challenges attracting the same level of commercial interest as another athlete with broader mainstream appeal. That does not diminish their accomplishments. It simply reflects the reality that business and competition operate according to different rules. The growing influence of social media has accelerated this trend dramatically. In previous generations, athletes depended heavily on television coverage and newspaper headlines. Today, they can communicate directly with millions of people every day. A single post can reach audiences larger than many traditional media outlets. This direct connection has transformed the relationship between athletes, fans, and brands. Companies now evaluate not only athletic achievements, but also audience engagement, storytelling ability, and personal branding. An athlete capable of inspiring conversations across multiple platforms becomes extremely valuable because attention itself has become one of the most important currencies in modern business. Tennis, perhaps more than many other sports, provides a unique environment for this phenomenon because players compete as individuals. There are no teammates sharing the spotlight. Every victory and every defeat belongs to one person. Every interview reflects one personality. Every public appearance contributes to one personal brand. This individual nature makes tennis stars particularly attractive to sponsors because their identities are clearly defined. Fans form strong emotional connections with players, following their careers for years and investing deeply in their journeys. Those emotional connections often matter just as much as competitive results when companies decide where to invest. Another important factor shaping the modern tennis landscape is globalization. Tennis is no longer dominated by a handful of markets. The sport attracts audiences across North America, Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, and the Middle East. A player capable of connecting with fans across multiple regions becomes especially valuable because brands increasingly operate on a global scale. Companies are not looking for local ambassadors. They are looking for international symbols. They want athletes whose appeal can transcend borders, languages, and cultural differences. Achieving that level of recognition requires more than athletic talent alone. It requires communication skills, authenticity, consistency, and the ability to remain relevant through changing circumstances. Some athletes excel naturally in this environment. Others prefer letting their performances speak for themselves. Neither approach is wrong, but they produce different outcomes in the commercial world. As women's tennis continues growing, these dynamics have become even more significant. For many years, female athletes received fewer opportunities and smaller sponsorship deals compared to their male counterparts. That gap has gradually narrowed as brands recognize the enormous value and influence of women's sports. Viewership continues increasing. Fan engagement continues growing. Commercial opportunities continue expanding. Each major endorsement agreement sends a signal that women's tennis deserves greater investment and recognition. This progress benefits the entire sport because it creates more opportunities for future generations. Young players entering professional tennis today can realistically imagine careers that extend far beyond prize money and tournament earnings. They can build businesses, partnerships, and global platforms that amplify their impact. Modern tennis is no longer just about winning matches and lifting trophies. Today's athletes are expected to influence culture, connect with fans, and represent values that extend far beyond the court. Brands now look for more than talent. They want personalities that people can relate to and trust. This creates new opportunities but also new pressures, as every interview, social media post, and public appearance becomes part of an athlete's story. Yet despite all these changes, one thing remains true: performance still matters. Championships, rankings, and victories remain the foundation of every great career. The players who leave the biggest legacy are often those who can do both: dominate on the court while inspiring people off it. As tennis continues to evolve, the future will belong to athletes who successfully balance excellence, influence, and global appeal.